show called Tommy Tom Tom. Please welcome Jamie Maxfield. Jamie.
Yeah, so this is awesome. This is great to be out here. One thing that I hate, I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys, but I hate this. I hate when somebody says this. They go, oh, I'm terrible with names, but I'm great with faces. I never forget a face, but I can never remember a name. Really? That means you're bad at both of those if you're saying that. That's like saying, I'm great at shapes, I just can't remember what they're called, like what the name of them are. This doesn't make sense to me. I'm from Utah. I don't know if you guys know about Utah. One of the things that we're known for about Utah is our beer. Yeah. Our beer has a low alcohol level in it, right? 49 states have regular. We have a diet beer, apparently, for everything. But a lot of people come to Utah and they think that's a bad thing. I personally think that's a good thing because Utah beer keeps ugly people from breeding. Yeah, because I guarantee you'll run out of beer money long before she looks good. I mean, thank you, Utah. That is awesome. Appreciate it. No. I'm married, and I love being married. My wife and I, we got married at a very young age, mainly because we thought we'd get extra credit in home ec class. Didn't work out. This is a sad statistic. I think you've all heard this. It says that 50% of all marriages within the first 2 years will end in divorce. I think that's a bad thing, and I was thinking, well, how can we fix this? You know, so this is how we do it. What we do is we get the guy who writes cell phone contracts to write marriage contracts, right? Because I know there's like 90% of everybody in this room that just hates their cell phone. Like, yeah, she was great for the first 6 months, but this thing just blows now. I hate this thing. But I'm not getting out of this. This is AT&T. It takes the wrath of God to get out of this contract. There's no way I'm getting out of this thing, right? The other cool thing would be is that like every 2 years you could upgrade to a new model, which would be kind of a bonus. The ladies don't like that joke. They're like, that's mean. Really, ladies? Like you haven't thought about upgrading your model recently? Yours hasn't held a charge for like more than 3 minutes for who knows how long, right? Come on. I'm going to blow your guys' mind with a little statistic, or this is a little information about me that you might not know. I have 6 children. 6 kids. Yes, thank you. I'm only responsible for 3 pregnancies, though. This is how it happened. We had a boy, and we had twin boys, because we were trying for a girl. We're like, let's go for a girl, so we ended up with twin boys. Right? And then at that point, we're closing up shop. We're getting out of the baby-making business. We're just done. We're not going to do this anymore. A couple years go by, we go, you know what? We really want that girl. So we went with adoption. We adopted our last 2 kids. And I have to recommend, if you guys are thinking about having children, I recommend adoption. Adoption was a great experience for us because adoption is kind of like a Las Vegas buffet. It's like, you always go in, you get exactly what you want every time. You love scones, get scones. It's always a great experience. Biological kids are kind of like school lunch cafeteria food. It's like whatever the old genetic lunch lady slopped up on that biological tray, that's what you get stuck with. And one of the kids always comes out kind of like those cold fish sticks you used to get in school lunch. It's kind of like, he looks fine, but he just kind of smells funny, and I just can't figure it out. This thing with 6 kids, that means it is a 3-to-1 kid-to-parent ratio. At this point, we're not parenting, it's just riot control at this. Although it is a great threat to have to the other kids, like, because if one of them starts acting up, you just kind of walk up to him and go, listen, Tommy, there's 6 of you. I honestly don't think the neighbors would notice if one of you came up missing. And they just straighten right up. Oh, that's great. I'm originally from Idaho. I don't know if anybody's seen the great state, been to the great state of Idaho. Yeah, for you men, if you haven't gone, go. Check out the women in Idaho, because the women in Idaho are beautiful. They have perfect bodies. They're like, and that's just their heads. I mean, that's amazing. I don't know if anybody knows our slogan in Idaho. This is our slogan in Idaho. Famous potatoes. Because we actually have a museum up there with potatoes in it that look like famous people. And we have a potato in there that looks like Abraham Lincoln. Got another potato, looks like Elvis Presley. This last year we got really excited to add a new potato to the museum. Looks like Susan Boyle. Actually, if I'm being honest, all of our potatoes look like Susan Boyle. If I'm being completely honest about that. We were just like, I don't know. That one looks good, let's put that one up in there. And we put it up there and say, that's good, that's awesome. One of the things we used to do a lot in Idaho growing up was we used to watch a lot of this show called Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, you guys remember that? L-Hop, we used to call it to give it some street cred. Love the L-Hop. But the main reason why I watched a lot of Little House on the Prairie growing up as a kid in Idaho is because we thought it was a show about current events. It's not. And that was a tough one to learn. I know we have some birthdays here, and birthdays are always exciting. People usually have, yes, thank you. People usually have like a great experience, great memories with their birthdays. Not me so much, because my parents always got my birthdays wrong. Like, for example, growing up, they'd always put the wrong number of candles on my cake. For example, like when I turned like 8, they put like 10. When I turned like 13, they put 5. Turns out they weren't celebrating my birthday. They were counting down to the day I moved out of the house, which is 2 different things that happened on the same day. It got so bad. My 18th birthday, my parents got me a U-Haul rental. Thanks, parents. That's awesome. Thank you. This is the other thing. Have you ever gotten like a really bad birthday present for your birthday? You kind of open it up and you're like, really? Like, do you even know who I am? Like, this is... Just hear there's free cake and decide to show up or something? Is that how this works? I don't know. But this is what they always say. Whenever you get a bad birthday present, they always say this. They say, well, it's not the gift that matters. It's the thought that counts. Which is great, unless, of course, that thought is a bad thought. A great example, when I was a kid, my dad bought me a boomerang. And I was like, awesome, a boomerang, this is so great. I could throw it and kill dingoes. This is going to be so much fun, right? And I was super stoked until my mom told me that he just didn't want to play catch with me anymore. It's like, because a boomerang, it comes back, you see. You don't need somebody to play catch with a boomerang. That's the great thing about the boomerang. I must have been the loneliest kid in the world who invented that. Like, he had a ball for years, and he's just like, oh, this sucks. Oh, make it come back. Boomerang, that's awesome. But that's not the worst birthday present. The worst birthday present I ever got, I kid you not, my last birthday, my wife bought me this. She bought me an electric nose hair trimmer for my birthday. Like, how do you act grateful when you get an electric nose hair trimmer? I was like, really, babe? Electric nose hair trimmer? She's like, what, you don't like it? I'm like, well, it's all right. And I'm like, she's like, oh, I thought you would have loved it because I bought it from the same place you bought me the Thigh Master for our anniversary. It's not a good idea. Don't do that. One of the things that was tough on me growing up as a kid is I got spanked as a kid. I don't know if anybody grew up getting spanked, but see, you can't do that anymore. Like, well, I grew up in the 80s, right, where like there was no timeout, there was just knockout. That was your only option. But this is the problem with spankings. At some point in your life, they no longer hurt. They were kind of funny. Like, do any of you remember the first time you ever laughed at your mom when she was spanking you? I remember when it happened to me. Yeah. My mom was spanking me, right? And I was trying not to laugh, and I let a little giggle, just a little like that. She got super pissed, started spanking me even harder. And quite honestly, I just got embarrassed because my kids were there. It's like, sorry kids, you had to see this. I told her bare butt was not necessary, but she insisted. Hey, you guys have been great. My name is Jamie Maxfield.